for it. It's Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. And again, it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And this one is right down Broadway. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
80 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Pollard going to try the right side. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing the receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Able to find Lazard. And he's going to have the 1st down as they move into field goal range here at the 25-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. And Lazard's got it again. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this 1st half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. A short kick taken at the 18, and he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
This offense, Charles, had a strong 1st half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the 1st half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, They're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage. Put the ball right on him.
Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Hey, take 26. Get 300. Get 300.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Rodgers with a caper, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Packers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point right down the middle, and that gives them a 3-point lead. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same, and what they plan to do on offense.
And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing, Prescott. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Well, there wasn't much of a window there, Charles. Had to deal with a couple of defenders, but able to find his big tight end.
And, partner, we know double coverage is a challenge for any player to try to defeat. But maybe it's a little easier if you're one of those big tight ends because you have a size advantage on just about anyone trying to cover you, and you use your body to create some space. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD. That's because really there hasn't been any. This
defense has been all over it.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Taken in at the 11. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. The 20. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after try forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the left side, Gallup's got it. So he stopped for no gain. And that will bring up 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And this time they were ready for him as as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Rashawn Gary that time through the line and getting the tackle for loss.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Prescott. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. And his kick here is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns, so this game is flipped. They were down, now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? They've been in attack mode. How do you get back into the game? Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, that is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott, he's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Tunyon's got it on the out route. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. 3 yards remain for 2nd down.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
Rodgers again now. This complete to Jones. And he's going to have a Packers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Packers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point splits the offense, and the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that route.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On 1st and 10, Prescott.
Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Now Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. T.J. Green with a pick.
And the Packers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Rodgers throwing here. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Rodgers now on 1st down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. On 1st down, Rodgers. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And again, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Hey, take 26. Get 300.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And Rodgers throws. Intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Looking left side, and it's complete. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. One last shot now for Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed in intermission. They come out in the big second half. And that led them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. There's a game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Packers, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, cause he shot right.